2 Chronicles 18. Now Jehoshaphat had great riches and honor, but was allied by marriage with Ahab. After some years he went down to Ahab in Samaria. And Ahab killed sheep and oxen for him in abundance and for the people with him, and persuaded him to go up with him against Ramoth-Gilead. Ahab king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat king of Judah, "Will you go with me to Ramoth-Gilead?" He answered, "I am as you are, and my people as your people, we will be with you in the war." And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, "Inquire first, I pray you, for the word of the Lord today." So King Ahab of Israel gathered together the prophets, 400 men, and said to them, "Shall we go to Ramoth-Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear?" And they said, "Go up, for God will deliver it into the king's hand." But Jehoshaphat said, "Is there not another prophet of the Lord here by whom we may inquire?" King Ahab of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "There is another man, MICAIAH son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Lord, but I hate him, for he never has prophesied good for me, but always evil." And Jehoshaphat said, "Let not the king say so." And King Ahab of Israel called for one of his officers and said, "Bring quickly MICAIAH son of Imlah." The king of Israel and Jehoshaphat king of Judah sat each on his throne, arrayed in their robes. They were sitting in an open place at the threshing floor at the entrance of the gate of Samaria. All the prophets were prophesying before them. And Zedekiah son of Chenaanah had made himself horns of iron, and said, "Thus says the Lord, with these you shall push the Syrians until they are destroyed." All the prophets prophesied so, saying, "Go up to Ramoth-Gilead and prosper, the Lord will deliver it into the king's hand." The messenger who went to call MICAIAH said to him, "Behold, the words of the prophets foretell good to the king with one accord. So let your word be like one of them, and speak favorably." But MICAIAH said, "As the Lord lives, what my God says, that will I speak." And when he had come to the king, King Ahab said to him, "MICAIAH, shall we go to Ramoth-Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear?" And he said, "Go up and prosper, and they shall be delivered into your hand." And the king said to him, "How many times shall I warn you to tell nothing but the truth to me in the name of the Lord?" Then MICAIAH said, "I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd, and the Lord said, These have no master. Let each return to his house in peace." And King Ahab of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "Did I not tell you that he would not prophesy good to me, but evil?" MICAIAH said, "Therefore hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing at his right hand and his left. And the Lord said, Who shall entice Ahab king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth-Gilead?" And one said this thing, and another that. Then there came a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, "I will entice him." The Lord said to him, "By what means?" And he said, "I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouths of all his prophets." And the Lord said, "You shall entice him and also succeed. Go forth and do so." Now, you see, the Lord put a lying spirit in the mouths of your prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning you. Then Zedekiah the son of Chenaanah came near and smote MICAIAH upon the cheek and said, "Which way went the Spirit of the Lord from me to speak to you?" And MICAIAH said, "Behold, you shall see on that day when you shall go into an inner chamber to hide yourself." Then King Ahab of Israel said, "Take MICAIAH back to Amon the governor of the city and to Joash the king's son. And say, Thus says the king, Put this fellow in prison and feed him with bread and water of affliction until I return in peace." MICAIAH said, "If you return at all in peace, the Lord has not spoken by me." And he added, "Hear it, you people, all of you." So Ahab king of Israel and Jehoshaphat king of Judah went up to Ramoth-Gilead. And Ahab king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "I will disguise myself and will go to the battle, but you put on your royal robes." So King Ahab of Israel disguised himself, and they went into the battle. Now Syria's king had commanded his chariot captains, "Fight not with small or great, but only with the king of Israel." And when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat of Judah, they said, "It is the king of Israel." So they turned to fight against him, But Jehoshaphat cried out, and the Lord helped him, and God moved them to depart from him. For when the captains of the chariots saw that it was not the king of Israel, they turned back from pursuing him. A certain man drew his bow at a venture and smote King Ahab of Israel between the lower armor and the breastplate. So Ahab said to his chariot driver, "Turn, carry me out of the battle, for I am wounded." And the battle increased that day. However, King Ahab of Israel propped himself up in his chariot opposite the Syrians until evening, and about sunset he died.